Hey Blue Table fans! Today I'm going to be cooking some chicken. I'm going to show you how to cook my famous paprika chicken. Alright, first off, you got to preheat your pan. Then you get your chicken. And it's very important not to cross-contaminate your chicken with the rest of the kitchen. So the pan's already heated up. I did that before I turned on the camera. I'm going to put in a little bit of olive oil. Just regular, clear, cheap olive oil is fine. Butter, if you don't have olive oil, works okay too. The butter will give your chicken a nice brown, but the butter can burn a lot more easily than the olive oil. When you're taking your chicken out of the wrapper, keep it inside the bag that you got it in. Also, smell your chicken. Yep, smells good. And by the way, I'm fastidious about washing my hands during and before cooking. So I've already given myself a nice cleanup. So I'm going to pull them up and you yin-yang them like this, top to tail. And you start putting them in the edge of the pan. Usually, this is super cheap chicken, and usually it's cheap because it's about to expire. So you got to cook it right away when you get home. And it's really best just to put it right in the pan when you get home. And definitely smell it. Probably a good idea to actually puncture the thing and smell it at the grocery store. And you've got to be a little clever so that all of the pieces of chicken fit. This is $1.29 a pound. This is about $5 of chicken. About 3 to 4 pounds of chicken. And again, I'm going to wash my hands really well because I touched that stuff. And when I'm cooking a lot, like cooking different types of meat and whatnot, I actually keep a sink full of bleach water. And now I can just take this bag and without cross-contaminating, I can throw it in the trash. Bam. It's usually good to get it actually outside. Now, let's see if I can get a little closer to my pan here. You're gonna do 3 or 4 different seasonings, and you're gonna give them 3 turns, cooking about 5 minutes per turn. I give the first side the most though, because a lot of time the chicken is still a little bit frozen. And I've got originally I have it on medium high. I turn it down to medium. I give it a shake. If you go buy pans, don't buy pans with this little screw underneath here. You're going to be constantly fighting it. Buying a better deep saucepan is one of my life goals. Okay, now, salt. I like to buy coarse salt and get it in a grinder. That's my favorite way of doing it. I think it just tastes better. It could be my imagination, but you know, oh well. And get the salt on there. Pepper from a pepper grinder. Yeah. And I'm putting on plenty of pepper. My kids don't like it too peppery, but I do. I love it peppery, man. Peppery. So there's 12 pieces here, I think. And I'll eat 2, and my teenage son will eat 10 pieces in a sitting. He said, "You make it taste too good, Dad." I also got this garlic olive oil. I don't know if it's any good, but I got it. And at this stage, we are not putting in any of the extra stuff, because if you start putting in onions and bell peppers and all those things, it ends up sort of cooling down the pan, and I think it's better to put them in midway. Hold on, I gotta find a lid. The lid, Patrick. Stop! Don't you forget it! For some reason I can't find the large saucepan lid. That's not great. see where, oh, here it is. There we go. Needs to be brushed off. There you go. Oh, that's better, right? All right, hey, while that's cooking and it's got about 4 minutes left, why don't we go ahead and start chopping up our stuff. And if you learn this one dish, your life is going to be immensely better. You can start using that cooked chicken with your ramen, like putting it on top of ramen. And you can also save the bones. We always keep a container to put the bones in. And you boil the bones with garlic and ginger and any other good stuff, onions. You just boil that up and you can make some broth, some really nice broth that can really fancy up your 25-cent a packet bachelor food ramen. I bought some green onions. Green onions are a staple around here. Like, we don't go to the store and not buy greens. There you go. Nice. And I'm going to get a bowl. I'm going to chop all that up and put it in the bowl. 2 bowls, actually. The onion part in one and the green part in the other. And of course, the bell pepper, which I'm going to wash off. There's been a lot of shortages of produce, so this bell pepper isn't the greatest, but it doesn't really matter because this bell pepper is just going to end up getting cooked with the chicken. It's there really to add color, but it does add some flavor as well. And there's going to be a lot of juice left from this chicken. Here's the juice that's congealed from the last time I made this. And this is great for ramen. You just scoop out a little bit of it, warm it up, and put it in your ramen. Absolutely flippin' delicious. All right, let's get to chopping. I'm gonna look in here. I already looked, but I'm gonna look again for oddball pieces, like ones that are rotten. I'm just gonna cut off the tops. Sure, you could save a lot of this, but you know, I just do it. And now, time to chop it. Yeah, we got about 2 minutes left for this side. And with practice, you can get pretty fast. I'm not as fast as like a professional chef. Definitely keep your hands clawed so you don't cut your fingers, or keep your fingers away. Whenever I see people cutting like this, it makes me absolutely cringe. It's like, come on, people. Learn your basic knife work. And this is probably too much onion for the chicken that we have. Look at all that onion, that green onion. And I wish you could smell this. It smells absolutely amazing. All right, so let's get that in there. So my kids are lucky. Their dad is always cooking for them and making absolutely delicious things. Now I got to get the oddball pieces off of the ends here. Sometimes you can line it up and just do it all at once, but that's never quite right. And you can check for slimy pieces too. There aren't many on this because I cleaned them very efficiently, and I've gotten really good at detecting those oddball pieces. Throw those out. Oh, we have one more to do. I think our chicken is ready to turn, but I'm just going to leave it in there a little bit more. It's browning on the one side. So on the chicken drumsticks, I do it in thirds, and I turn it actually 3 times. I don't just flip it and try and do it on each time. All right, let's cut these. It's a little thick, but these are going to be amazingly good. That oniony savor is just going to cook right into that chicken, and it's going to be the most delicious thing you've ever had. And we will definitely put all of that onion in. And that onion will actually end up getting mostly taken out and into our juicy stuff. And just the color and the oddball crispy pieces will remain. It's going to be really good. Okay, we're done with that. Open this up. Give it a shake. Oh, a few, no, they haven't really stuck to the pan, which is nice. Oh, I forgot something. The paprika. Now you're putting this in, it gives it a little bit of warmth, not a lot. Paprika is not too spicy. And I really just put it in there to give it some color. So I'm just going to sprinkle this on top. And now I'll get my clampers, and this will be turn number 1. So I just give each of them a third of a rotation. And you'll see you've got some nice brown on the bottom there. Not too much. Actually, they should be a little browner, but too late, I'm already turning them. So you give them 3 turns, and then we're going to simmer them for like 10 minutes. Oh, here you go, look at that. That's some nice brown on there. Give them another turn. And the bottom of the pan's getting a little dry. And by the way, you don't have to use this garlic olive oil. Regular olive oil or even butter is fine too, but I'm going to put a little bit of this, just a drizzle, barely even a thing, on top. And that'll add just a little bit of flavor to these guys. That's real nice. And we repeat the process. We do, so let me see what's happening here. Yeah, we're going to do some salt. We're going to do pepper. Salt, pepper, oil, guys. That's all you need in life. Now, I do keep these cilantro flakes on hand. They are not great. These are like lawn clippings, but they don't taste bad, and they do add just a little bit of color to your dish. So I do keep them on hand, and it's easy for the kids. Kids don't have to finely chop fresh cilantro. But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a little bit of our green onion, and I'm going to chop it very finely, and I'm going to sprinkle it over the top of it. It'll stick on that olive oil, and it'll give it just a little bit of initial color. And that's the trick to this dish, and maybe any dish, is to just get those flavors in there, layer it over and over again, just like in model painting. My cutting board has been put through the dishwasher, which it shouldn't be, so that is why it's a little crooked there. Oh, look at that. Come on. Yeah, baby. See how close we can get in there. Oh, so if only you could smell this. A tiny little whisper of paprika. That gives them some color and a little bit of heat. We'll let that cook on that side for 5 minutes. And that'll give us time to, that'll give us time to cut our bell pepper. Now, I learned a lot of my stuff from just watching Gordon Ramsay on YouTube, and this is one of them. Just cut off the sides like this. This literally takes 10 seconds to do this. And then all you have left is the core, and you just throw that out. There is one extra step that needs to be done here. Let's see if I can find my paring knife. You got to get rid of these little white things here. They're a little bitter, and I'm gonna dice this pepper. I'm gonna dice it good. This pepper's not gonna know which way is up. Yeah, I'm getting rid of those little bitter white parts. Oh, and I just have this absolutely fantastic red pepper. Red pepper meat. Let's get rid of these. Throw these in the garbage. I'm getting a little thirsty. I always keep some water on hand. Something to drink. I drink about a gallon of ice water every day. It's a lot. Okay. Let's see, can you even see what I'm doing? Yeah, you're actually pretty good. There we go. So I'm going to julienne these. And you can do it like this, like a rocking motion, rocking forward motion, or you can set the tip of the knife on the cutting board and just draw a pass like this, which is actually really very much faster. We'll set those aside. Julienne these. Okay, and then now we will cube them just by, and it doesn't work perfectly well because, again, my cutting board is warped just a little bit. It's not professional. Basically, everybody in the entire universe does things better than what I do it. But what can I do? I can just be myself. Nobody can be Sean Gately better than I can. So maybe I should just stick to that and be humble. Not try and be something I'm not. Be okay with who I am. Some people still like it. My channel gets some views still. I remember when my goal was to get 1,600 views in 24 hours. The first 24 hours of any given video. And again, my knife work isn't good here because I've got my fingers kind of sticking out. But I'm giving myself about a ½ inch of clearance, so I'm very unlikely to cut myself. And I've been cooking amateurishly for 4 years now, and I have not cut myself once. I've nicked my fingernail a couple of times, but I do not count that. So I've had a few scares, but I have not cut myself yet. I would love to be able to afford better cookware. That would be great. And I guess if I put my mind to it, I could have it. Usually people, they wish for things, but, then they actually could just accomplish it. Oh, I didn't cut this very well. Yeah, just got to pull those apart. Good. Now that I'm on side 2, I'm going to put in these onions because they take a while to cook. Look at how beautiful that looks. Look at that. Yeah. Put those in there. And see how it sort of toned down. Now we're going to do our last turn. And I just look for the uncooked part and make sure that goes on the bottom. Very golden. And this is going to look amazing when it's done. Presentation. All right. Oh, hello. Probably should have shown you the process. I was turning it off camera. All right, well, that's what it looks like now. Yummers. Yummers. One last pass with the salt. A little bit on each one. I actually focus the salt. I don't just salt the whole pan. I go and I put a little bit of salt on each one. Tiny little whisper of paprika. The bottom of the pan is still really good. It's still slick enough with juices and oil and everything that they're not sticking, which is a bad thing. You definitely don't want them to stick. Some people, they're like, oh, get it done sooner and put it on higher heat. Nope. Be patient. Let it be low heat. Oh, I do have one that's sticking. Just kind of gently work them up. All right. And I'll put on like half. This isn't an exact science. I'm just putting on half of my red pepper now. I'll put the other half, well, there you go, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's going to be really nice. Medium heat, 5 minutes. Okay, we're looking good. All right, I'm going to come back after this is cooked. This video is already getting like really long. It's already 20 minutes long. And all told, this takes about a ½ an hour to do it. But it's a great dish. If you make some of my famous 1, 2, 3 coconut rice, which, yep, that definitely went bad overnight. Fortunately, I kept some in the refrigerator. I probably should have refrigerated all of it. Oh yeah, that smelled like bad rice. But this smells really good. 1, 2, 3 coconut rice. Not too sticky, not too fluffy. just right. And all right, I'll be back. I forgot something, guys, and that is to put in some butter. And that not only gives a really good flavor to everything, but it also browns everything up nicely. I should have done this like way earlier. You just put some knobs of butter in there. Let's give this a shake. And this is basically done cooking. Now, I am not very tech savvy, so I literally check an edge piece. How am I doing on it? Yeah, it's showing it. I check an edge piece, and I just cut it all the way to the bone, and I see if it's cooked all the way, and I see that it is not cooked all the way. So now, this knife is contaminated with raw chicken. So I gotta be careful with that. That's how you make yourself sick if you're not careful. Okay, so as you can see, we're getting a nice little juice on the bottom there, which is good, but you don't want to overdo it. So what I do is a last step, I put in some broth. If you don't have broth, water works fine. I just put it in along the edge, about 2 tablespoons, just 2 little glops. Not very much, just enough to make some steam. Shake it again. And now I'm going to turn this on low, and I'm going to let it go for 10 minutes. Sometimes I let it go for 20. 20 seems to be overcooked, but you know. Oh, and yeah, I'm going to put on about half of my green onion at this time. Let that oniony flavor just marinate. Oh, I wish you could just smell the spring onion. It's crazy. And it just looks so good. A little bit of that whole bell pepper. Just get that on top. Yeah, and then we'll put the last of these 2 ingredients in fresh at the very end. I missed a few onions. May as well get those cooking on there. The white onion part of the green onion, the green tops, the red of the bell pepper just makes it look so nice. Green, white, red. It's an Italian flag. I should call it Italian flag chicken. Anyway, I'm now on low. I've covered it. I've got in my liquid there. Not very much, just enough to make some nice steam coming out of there. And we're ready. I can serve it with that rice. Get that chicken juice stuff on there. Like soaking into that rice, and it is so good. Oh my gosh, it's so good. My kids, they just eat like this pan will last 5 minutes basically. And if you want to present, I've got oh my, where are they? Oh, here it is. I've got this wonderful stoneware thing, this little lovely here. And what I do is I just put a little paper towel on the bottom, not very much, and I serve it onto that, and the paper towel soaks up all the juice, because once it dries it becomes like a gelatin, and it's really super gross. But this is great presentation. I'm going to put this little pan on top of the stove off to the side, so over the course of 10 minutes that ambient heat is going to just warm up that pan. It's going to be so nice. I'm going to put in 7 minutes 30 seconds on the timer. Otherwise, I might forget about it. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants overdone chicken. No thanks, Dad. We don't want your overdone chicken. And I can start putting away some things. The beauty of this, though, is we used that entire sprig of green onion and the entire bell pepper. So there's no extra pieces that you have to store after this. You're actually using everything. Here we go. Maybe I should make like a cooking twitch or something like that. Look at that, guys. Oh, that's so nice. So beautiful. Wow. Wow, so nice. really amazing dish. These days, it's just me and my son working at the studio. Oh, that ice water is crazy. Oh, that's so good. Oh, man. Oh. Oh, that is outstanding. All right, guys. This is now boiled for 10 minutes. And what we're going to do, this is guaranteed to be cooked all the way through now, but I'll go to one of the edge pieces, open it up all the way to the bone, take a look. Yes, definitely completely cooked. And now we're going to start dishing it up on our bed of whatevers. I had some day-old lettuce, it's still in really good shape. And now I'm going to start putting my chicken in so beautifully. Now if you want, you could take a spoon and sort of spoon on this gravy on top of it, which actually, that's really not a bad idea. You don't want to do that. I'm turning off the heat for sure. I have this bent spoon that I use for precisely this operation. Yeah, oh, that's so good. That's just ridiculoso. Oh, wow. Oh, I'm so amazing. You're lucky to know me, even. All right, here we go. Does it bother you OCD people that I didn't do it to the ones that were already in there? I'll just put a little bit on that. There we go. Oh yeah, and I have that paper towel on the bottom to kind of soak up the extra stuff. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that's crazy. That is so amazing. Wow. Oh geez, it's going to be piled high here, guys. It's going to be really good. There we go. Okay, and we'll save this for some time else. Like that. Put this down. All right, let's just sprinkle on this spring onion. It looks so good. Oh yeah, that's just amazing. I mean, this would be a worthy of Thanksgiving dish. In my household, this is kind of how the kids eat almost every day. A little bit of this bell pepper. That'll be crunchy if you get a bite of that. There we go. And again, I'm fastidious about washing my hands. I'm washing my hands all the time. There we go. Let's get in close. Oh, that looks like a bit of a jump, doesn't it? But I assure you, this is, oh, look at that steam coming off of there. I assure you, this chicken is juicy and delicious. It is tender and jugoso. So nice. Wow, I'm amazing. That is really good stuff, guys. All right, thanks for tuning in. And I know you got your inspiration for the day.